Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Monday, the 7th of February 2022. Are you not yet a fully fledged Sudokan? That's okay, because today is our beginner's day for easy game or beginner. If you've never played the game before and not really confident in your skills, that's okay. Today is the right day for you to play. I shall give you a guide on some of the basic techniques. Um, this is the puzzle printed in the Guardian, by the way. You should always try these games yourself, even if you're new to the game. You need to have a go yourself. So there's always a link in the description that you can go to and try for yourself. So I recommend you do that. Mentioning an item of news before I begin. I see that new research published in the February edition of Nature Plants is saying that old and ancient trees change the genetic diversity and composition fitness of the surrounding tree population. What does that mean? Well, scientists at Tuskegee University in Italy and the University of Barcelona have discovered that the ancient trees are really vital to the long-term survival of forests. And of course, at the moment, there's a lot of replacement, because of, obviously, we understand we need to try to improve the situation with carbon. And so tree planting is going on regularly across the globe, but of course, this can't replace the old trees. Now, those of us who are older human beings know that we have a lot of we have a lot of genetic diversity as well, and experience. I think it's trees being wise, actually. But apparently, they have a huge amount of genetic diversity on board that can actually change the tree population around them. So they are hugely important. So it's very important to think about conservation, not just replanting. Right. Let's move on to the game of Sudoku. Now, how do we play this game? Well, as you can see on the screen, there is a grid of 9 squares across by 9 squares down, and then there are these blocks lined in black heavy lines. And all we do is fit the numbers 1 to 9 in each of the rows, each of the columns, and each of the blocks. For example, look at this. This is a very filled block, isn't it? Only 3 more numbers, and we'll have it complete. You can see there's only one of each. 2, 3. There's an 8, 7, 6, and a 9. So what are we missing? We still need to fit in here numbers 1, 4, and 5, and then we'll have a complete block. Okay. Now we do the same thing with the rows and the same thing with the columns. And so it's that idea of finding what's left that enables us to play the game and complete the puzzle. So how do we go about finding? Now, I don't play these games ahead of turning on the camera, so I don't necessarily know, but I shall explain to you. And the first thing that I see is, let's say this 5 is in this column here, right? And therefore cannot reappear in this column. We can only have one number per column, per row, per block. So if we look at this block here and we think how this 5 interacts with it, we say that 5 blocks these 3 squares here from being a 5. There could be other numbers. It can't be 9, 7, or 2, and they certainly can't be a 5. Now we have a 5 blocking down here too, meaning these 2 squares can't be 5. So if these 3 squares can't be 5 and these 2 squares can't be 5, that leaves just this square here that can be 5. Okay, now let's take that 5 that we just filled in and say it stops this square being 5, and this 5 stops this square from being 5. So again, we are left with just one empty square that can possibly be 5, and that's how we know that is the solution to that square. We sometimes call them cells, C-E-L-L as well. Okay, so we go around the board looking for possibilities until we find something that must be true. Now, how about this? Here's another idea or technique. This column here does not yet have an 8, right? We're lacking an 8 here. But this 8 blocks these every square in this block here from being a 3. So in particular, these 3 squares are what we're concerned about. So these 3 squares cannot be 8. Now if they can't be 8, well, we still need 8 for this column, and so therefore 8 must be there. Now we'll take that 8 that we just wrote in and say that it blocks across here, and this 8 blocks across here, leaving us with just that one location there where we can draw in an 8. We have our 1 blocking across here and a 1 blocking across here, and now that we've already blocked this square, we only have one other empty square, so 1 must fit there. And we have a 9 blocking across this row here now, meaning this square and this square cannot be 9, right? You see it? And therefore 9 has to be there. And again, let's take the number that we just wrote in. It's often a good idea, especially for beginner games, to take the number that you just wrote in and use it somehow. So let's say this 9 now blocks across these 3 squares, and here we have an intersecting 9 from up here blocking down here. So blocked and blocked. That means this square here has to be a 9. Now we need to kind of look around, all around the grid, to see what else we can see. Now here's something that I want to show you that if you're new to the game, it might seem a little bit confusing, but hopefully not. Alright, let's see this. 4 blocks down this column, right? So I'm focusing on this block here, this box here at first. 4 blocks down here and this 4 blocks across here, right? So 4 blocking down here and blocking down here. Now that doesn't leave us with 1 square. That leaves us with 2 squares. Actually, 2 squares. This one and this one. Now, if you look across here, you may not see a 4 just yet, but if you think about this 4 blocks this square from being a 4, right? So 4 has to be in one of these 3 squares here. Now if it's here, this can't be 4. If it's here, it can't be 4, and here it can't be 4. So we do already really have a 4 in this row. So now we have blocking down here, and blocking across here. So in fact we do have one square only where the 4 can go. I hope that was okay. Now 4 blocking up here, 4 blocking down here. That places a 4 there. This means this square can't be 4, so 4 is here. And the only number missing from this block is 1. This one down here blocks up here, and this one blocks across here, and so 1 must fit there. Now we have 2 ways, often have several ways of finding the same answer. Now let's look at this row here, okay? And there are 2 ways we can find this number. We could say this one blocks across here and this one blocks across here, meaning that's a 1. Or we could say there are 2 missing numbers for this row. The missing numbers are 1 and 8. We don't yet have 1, we don't have 8. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Now this 1 blocks this square here, so that can't possibly be 1. So we know that must be 8. Or this 8 blocks this square here, so that has to be 8, and this has to be 1. So 3 ways, in fact, of finding the same solution to the 2 cells here. This 4 blocks across here, meaning that must be a 4 right there. Now 2 blocks across here and 2 blocks up here. We don't yet have a 2 in this block, so we do now. Now we're only 1 number missing for this row, so we need to find out what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have a 6 anywhere yet, so let's put that in. The missing numbers in these two squares are 8 and 9. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 must appear here and here. But I hope that you notice that this 8 here blocks that square, so 8 goes there and 9 goes there. Now that 9 we just wrote in, we can use blocking up here, 9 blocking up here. That's a 9 there. Now there's only one number missing from this column. That's a 7. We don't yet have a 7. We've got all of the other numbers but no 7, so we can put the 7 in there. Or we could have said 7 blocking across here and 7 blocking across here, and that's the only empty square. So as I say, very often many ways to find, or several ways to find the same information when it comes to Sudoku. Right, where should we? The key to the game is normally deciding where to look next. Okay, this row doesn't yet have a 2. There's no 2. This 2 blocks this square, this 2 blocks this square. So in this row, this is the only remaining square where 2 can go. Or you could have said 2 blocks down here, and that's the only square left, right? Just one empty square here now. Can you see what it is yet? 1, 2, there's no 3, so 3 goes there. And then across here we are still lacking one number, and if you count through you're going to find it's a 6. 6 goes here. This 6 actually blocks across here like this, putting a 6 into that square, which I could have seen some time ago if I'd noticed, but sometimes you notice these things, sometimes you don't. You'll find that when you play Sudoku a lot. 3 blocks this square, so 3 is here. 5 is the last number we need for this block, and 5 blocks up here and 5 blocks across here, so that's a 5 there. And now we only have one number to get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't yet have a 7, so let's put it in. Okay, 7 blocking up here, 7 blocking up here, and 7 across here means that that must be a 7 there. And now, although this is a completely empty block, I know that we can get 7 in there. And the reason I know that is because we have 7 in every other block. If you have 7 in 8 places, in the 9th block, any digit in 8 blocks, in the 9th block, you can always find it. You always have enough information. So 7 blocks across here, 7 blocks across here. So we only have to consider the middle row, right? Top row, bottom row of this block are blocked. 7 blocking up here, 7 blocking up there. So that must be our 7. Now we have 1 blocking up here, 1 blocking up here, and 1 blocking across there. So that's our 1 there. And now we have 1 blocking up here, 1 blocking across there, and 1 blocking across there. So that's our 1 to place there. Five blocks across this row, 5 blocks across this row, and 5 blocks up there. So that's a 5 we can place there. Nine blocks up here, 9 blocks across there. So 9 fits into that square there. Now we're only one number missing from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't yet have a 6. So let's put our 6 in there. And the missing number in this block is a 3. So let's put that in now. Now we only have one empty square in this column. And it's going to be a 6 that we need. If you think I'm finding the missing numbers quite quickly, rather than counting through, it's just from experience, just from having played the game quite often. Very often, I should say. 3 across here, that's a 3 there, and the 4 fits into there. But you don't have to find them so quickly. You're not on a timer when you play this game, right? You just take your time and look for the answers. So you may not be able to do it so quickly at the beginning, but you will get faster. 9 across here, 9 across here, and 9 up here with practice. But the aim is not necessarily to be as quick as possible. It's just to find the solution. 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks across there. Then 8 blocking across here, 8 blocking across here. That's an 8 we can place there. One number missing in this row. The missing number is 3, I think. 1, 2, we don't yet have a 3 anywhere. We've got everything else, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 3. Now 3 blocks down here, 3 blocks down here. So that's a 3, one number missing from this column here. The missing number, I think, is a 4. 1, 2, 3, there's no 4 anywhere, so let's put 4 in. And also 4 blocks down here, so that's a 4 there. A missing number in this particular block here is a 2. That stops this square from being a 2, so 2 must be here. And there's one more number missing from up here. It's a 6. Again, you're probably finding lots of different ways to do the same thing. 6 blocks here. That's a 6. And 2 is the last number that we need for this game. Okay, so that's our game of Sudoku, and I hope you enjoyed it. And there are plenty of other beginner level Sudokus on this channel, and lots of places you can find Sudoku on the internet. So good luck with it.